Come on to a comfortable seated position. In this video, we'll be focusing on body awareness and breath. There's a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh. He said, "Breathe in deeply to bring your mind home to your body." So in this video, focus on what your body is actually doing. Be aware, is it shifting or leaning, or maybe your back is rounding when you're not aware. It's easy to do. Cut. Come on to a comfortable seated position. If it's not comfortable for you to sit cross-legged, you're welcome to sit on a block or a bolster or maybe a small stool, something to elevate your hips. Or you can always just keep your knees bent, feet in front with your hands on the mat behind you for a couple of minutes. Take a deep inhale, lifting the crown of your head a little taller. As you exhale, place each sit bone firmly in the mat. Take a few breaths here to settle in. Oh, cut. Come on to a comfortable seated position. If you're not comfortable sitting cross-legged on your mat, feel free to sit on a block or a bolster, something to elevate your hips. Or, if need be, place your hands on the mat behind you and just have your feet resting in front. In today's video, we'll be focusing on body awareness and breath. I'll be slowing everything down so that you can really feel what your body is actually doing. I learned a lot in yoga class that helped me when I was riding. I wasn't aware that I was leaning a little more to one side or the other, or maybe rounding my back. Take a few breaths to settle in. Inhaling, reach the crown of your head taller. Exhale, feel your sit bones root equally into the mat. There's a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh. Breathe in deeply to bring your mind home to your body. In this video, be aware of what your body is actually doing, rather than just assuming it feels okay. Sitting comfortably, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, root the sit bones into the mat. Notice if one sit bone is carrying more weight than the other. Are we leaning over to one side or the other? Just notice that and come back to center. And then as you inhale, reach the crown of your head a little taller. Exhale. Let your sit bones sink into the mat. And now as you inhale, reach the shoulders up. Shrug your shoulders. Exhale, release them. Inhale, shrug your shoulders. And now as you exhale, circle your shoulders back and down and forward. Inhaling, lift your shoulders up and down and forward. Just circling your shoulders. Pause and go the other direction. And now come back to a neutral spine. Your back is not arched, chest is not forward, and you're not rounding the back. Just come back to the middle. Bring your hands to your side. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. As you exhale, lower your hands. Inhaling, lift your arms up. Exhale, lower. This time, inhaling, reach your arms up over your head. As you exhale, lower your left hand to the mat, reach your right arm over to the right. Right arm over to the left. And now draw that right elbow back, and now press that right sit bone into the mat. And now lower your right hand to the mat, turn your left palm up, inhale, reach your left arm up and over. And now press that left sit bone into the mat, equal weight between each sit bone. Come on back to center. Uncross your legs and come on to all fours. If you need extra padding for your knees, you can place a blanket under them or you can roll up your mat. If this bothers your wrists, Walk your hands forward just an inch or two and press your knuckles and fingertips into the mat, taking some of the weight out of the wrists. As you inhale here, lower your chest and belly towards the mat. Tilt your pelvis down towards the mat. Open your chest. As you exhale, lift your spine up. Begin to round your back like a cat, letting your head relax. Inhaling, arch your back. Be aware of your open chest. Exhale, lift your spine up, rounding your back like a cat. Move through here at your own pace. Let your body follow your breath. Be aware when you come to a neutral spine. And then continue to exhale as you round. And go through that neutral spine, lowering your chest and belly, tilting your pelvis as you inhale. Couple more times. This is a nice stretch for our spines. Just be aware of what your hips are doing, what your upper back is doing. And have a nice, soft, gentle engagement in your core to help your spine move from one shape to the other. And now come to a neutral spine, nice flat back, a straight line between your shoulders and hips, a softly engaged core here. Tuck your toes, lift your knees up, keeping that straight spine nice and straight. Lift your knees up and walk your feet forward to your hands. Keep that spine straight, bend your knees as much as you need to keep that straight spine. Inhale, lift your arms up, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, palms together, and lower your hands. Place your hands on your hips, bend your knees slightly. Engage your core to keep your rib cage and belly in. Take a deep inhale here. Think shoulders back. Exhale, just hinge at the hips to fold forward. As soon as your back starts to round, come up again till it's straight. Go as far as you can. Option to let your hands dangle. Maybe they reach the mat, or place your forearms on your thighs here. Be aware of how this feels in your body. Are your shoulders back? Inhale, slowly come up to standing. Engage the core to lift up. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. Coming to a standing position, have your feet about hip distance apart. And now, just as we did when we were seated, notice the weight between your left and right foot. Do you have more weight in one than the other? Place your hands on your hips. And now rock side to side. Notice as the weight shifts from left to right. Notice as you shift to the left and there's more weight in your left foot, that left hip might come up. Just a touch. Come back to center. Have your hips level, parallel to the ground. And pause when you have 50-50 weight in each foot. Side to side. And now roll forward onto the toes and back onto the heels. Notice when your weight shifts forward to back and come back to center. And now, so that your weight is evenly distributed between the toes and the heels and left to right. Now root your feet into the mat. Knees are straight but slightly soft. Strong core. Release your hands. Take a deep inhale here, reaching the crown of your head a little taller. Exhale, relax your shoulders. This is Tadasana. Strong but relaxed arms. Gently strong core. Feet rooted into the mat. A nice strong feet. Inhaling, lengthen your spine. Weight evenly distributed between each, the left and right, and front and back. Bring your hands to your side. Slowly inhale your arms up over your head. Exhale, turn your palms out and lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Come to the front of your mat, keeping your feet hip distance apart. Hips parallel to the front of the mat, place your hands on your hips. Step your right foot back as far as you can. Bend the left knee. Now bring the right hip forward so your hips are parallel to the front of the mat. Strong core. Bring your rib cage in. Bend that left knee. Feel that left foot on the mat. Are you leaning to the inside or outside of the foot? Keep it flat on the mat. Inhale, arms up over your head. Lower your shoulders as you reach your fingertips up. Be aware of having those hips parallel to the front of the mat. Just breathe here. Notice if one hip is lifting higher than the other. Can you adjust them so they're level? One more breath. Exhale, lower your hands and step that right foot forward. Inhaling, step the left foot back. Hands on hips, bend the right knee, bring the left hip forward so your hips and shoulders are parallel to the front of the mat. Maybe deepen the lunge. Press that right foot evenly into the mat between the inside and outside of the foot. Inhale, arms up. Lower your shoulders as you reach your fingertips up. Just be aware of what your body's doing, how it adjusts. Take a couple of breaths here. Notice your breath. Exhale, lower your hands and step your left foot forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, engage the core, just hinge at the hips, knees are soft as you fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. Turn and face the side of your mat and take your feet fairly wide. Feet parallel to each other, feet flat on the mat. An approximate distance is if you put your hands out, each ankle is directly below each wrist. And lower your hands. Place your hands on your hips, pivot on the left heel, turning the left toes out. And now draw the right hip back so you're still facing the side. Think of keeping those hips level. Shoulders directly above the hips, nice vertical straight spine. Bend that left knee. And again, equal weight between the big toe and baby toe side of that left foot. Arms out to the side, palms down. Turn and look over your left hand. Strong core. If your torso, shoulders lean forward to the left, just bring them back. Breathe here. Equal weight between each foot. Press your feet into the mat, maybe squeezing them together for more engagement. Relax your shoulders. Hips parallel to the ground. Now straighten the left leg. Turn the palms forward. Keeping that left leg straight, reach forward with your left hand. Let the hips slide back to the right. That right hip may lift a little, left hip may lower. Reach as far as you can and then let the left arm lower. Option to reach the right arm up, or if you have a shoulder injury, right hand can rest on right hip. Check in with your breath. As you exhale, come on back up and lower your hands. Bring your left toes in so your feet are now parallel to each other. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, engage your core to keep your spine nice and straight as you fold. Inhale, rise to standing, arms up over your head. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. Now pivot on your right heel, turn your right toes out, right foot parallel to the length of the mat. Draw that left hip back. Hands on hips, keep the hips level as you bend your right knee. Shoulders directly above your hips. Arms out to the side, palms down. Turn and look over your right hand. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as you stretch your fingertips away from you. Check in with your feet. Equal weight between each foot. Notice your breath. Just be aware if your hips are starting to slide one way or the other, and bring them back to level. Now straighten the right leg. Turn the palms out. Take a deep inhale. Keeping that right leg straight, reach forward with your right hand. When you've gone as far as you can, let the right arm lower. Option to reach left arm up, or left hand can rest on left hip. Bring that left shoulder back. Check in with your breath. What are your feet doing? Equal weight between each foot. Couple more breaths. Exhaling, slowly come up and lower your arms. Bring the right toes in. Bring your palms together at your heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, lower your hands. Slowly walk your feet together. Thank you for practicing today. Namaste.